I don't know what to tell you, but Atletico Madrid B are now they haven't won in the last 3 games, and Villavens all have won the last 3. So you're going to see that this is momentum here, and that the former leaders are now in a really delicate position. Also, just in terms of momentum, I want to highlight our main man and the star of tonight, Victor. Gets a really nice header here in between 2 defenders, but it's going to be his night. Let's just say that. And also, this game is just does not encapsulate how good Atletico Madrid B team is, and there's clearly some kind of distress going on here. Victor is wide open again, beats 2 defenders. 2 minutes later, so with his second goal now. This one's going to be the worst of the goals that Villavens score. It's just kind of just stagnant defending. Nobody's moving around, and Victor gets a perfect hat trick here. So he's got the right, the left, and the header now. And I think this goal is more of an illustration that Atletico are scared now at this point. They've been battered 3-0, and this is just unlucky. It's a good block, but I mean, it loops over and it goes in. It's unlucky for deflection, but I mean, it does encapsulate the fact that Victor gets a 4th goal now. And of course, we always like a little consolation goal, just a little bit of something to help out. This is the end. It's 4-1, and it's a really pathetic performance from the home team. Now, Castellano and Leganés are teams that are right in the middle of the table right now, and they've kind of been sputtering. Get a couple wins, couple draws, couple losses here and there, but this kind of highlights right away Leganés having a rough start, and Grande getting his goal in the first minute, and I believe 20 seconds. So that's how we started, and that early pressure from the onset continued with Manchon right off the top of the bar there. And about 6 minutes later, Klaus Sieg has his shot off the crossbar too, continuing the early pressure. And eventually we got to a point where the Leganés was able to finally come out from that pressure and then be able to create their own chances. This being from Zekri here, getting a deflected shot. And leveling the game. Now, this game will, it'll turn and become a lot more even-sided now that Castellano is on the back foot. And Castellano coming into this game as well has not won in the last 2 games. They got 2 wins, then the last 2 games have been draws. And Leganés has just been kind of topsy-turvy, but you can see Arauz getting the winning goal here in the 67th minute. Really just highlights a team that is not quite gelled yet. Either teams, honestly. I think this also, this late play here really kind of illustrates that Leganés are very dangerous on the counter. Considering their 2 goals, too, both were from a loss of possession or quick from set plays, like the throw-in. Again, game ends 2-1. I'm just going to give you a really long couple highlights here, but I was worried coming into this game hosting Guadalajara because they are a team that drew the last 2 games ago, and then they beat Sequemos last game, so they just seemed like they were just starting to build momentum. And my team had not been unbeaten yet, and it just felt like a banana peel moment where a team that I should have beat, but I couldn't. And you never know. Even though we were playing well, for some reason I'm just been given penalties every game. I'm just given penalties. I don't know why. It just is what it is. So Pozo scores here, and we get a good, decent start at 19 minutes in. So, the run continues so far. But we were dominant in this game, and we were able to really show our might here. And it's really like the team is gelling together and really working towards, you can see this high press scenario that I've put together. And we win the ball back immediately. So we're really showing that we're going to be a good team here, and I'm surprised because we don't seem like we should be. Pozo misses just barely here, but I'm not going to complain. And one of the positive things is that like this is a team that definitely is struggling. It is at the foot of the table. We've brushed them aside at least early in the season now, and this is a good sign that like, hey, we actually are like bare minimum. I feel like we're a mid-table team avoiding relegation. So Katsala gets a great goal here that's enjoyable to watch. So 2-0, and he continues his development in fine form, so I'm excited about that. And Guadalajara did get a consolation chance. They didn't score, but Ivan here totally scuffed the shot right at the end, but that's it, 2-0. This game is basically of no highlights. There's only two. This is the first one for Ducasano here. The lowly team, they're at the base of the entire league here, starting this game week. Estepona have found their feet a little bit. You know, they've won the last couple games. They haven't conceded a goal in, I think, two goals conceded in the last, like, 4 games. So Estepona win here. It's 1-0. They scored late off this set piece, and it's 3 points. That's it. So what's interesting about this game for Don Benito and Navalcarnero is because Don Benito have now flown from like the bottom half of the table, and now they've ascended to like the third best team in this division. And Navalcarnero have been this like high flying, high octane, score a ton, concede a ton type team, and you see that with Temenishkov, on the break a lot. And, both teams, I mean, Don Benito has been just a lockdown defense team. They've only conceded 3 goals all season so far. And they are always just grinding teams down with a 1-0 or 2-0, result. They drummed Sequemos 6-1, but that's the outlier, right? And for Navalcarnero coming in here, like they were that high-flying team. I mean, they had the 6-5 with Segoviana. They had a game with me, 3-2. Even if they do win or if they lose, it's 2-1. So it's like there's no real defense. It's always like trying to go for it. But Navalcarnero, the last couple games now, they are having. I mean, they haven't conceded a goal in a couple games now, but yeah. This is an interesting game. And when approaching halftime, I think you started to see like this play here kind of culminates in a little bit of a skill gap for Don Benito's benefit. You can see Compaore is just absolute class with his passing. And also in this game, Navalcarnero never really got anything going. It was all Don Benito, but the chances were few and far between. I just showed this because it's a bicycle kick. That's not because it's close, But this is also another opportunity towards the end of the game that you'll see that comes to Mateo Santana. And Don Benito just have the better chances. They have the possession. They have really everything kind of going for them. But again, I think it just kind of speaks to there's a different approach coming with Navalcarnero, but also Don Benito just unable to get the win here too. They choked a little bit with themselves. One of the things that I do know, not because I looked it up or anything, but there's no straight flights from where Atletico Paso is to Melilla. There's no chance. And Pallone scores this absolutely beautiful peach of a goal here. And I cannot understate the fact that this is an upset. However, the home side scored. Good for them. It was an absolute gift. Oscar, I don't know what you're doing, but this is a really good finish in off the post for Miguel Garcia. It's 1-1. However, it's time for the better team to capitulate. And again, Miguel Garcia, like, he does his homework, right? It's just the fact that, I mean, look at this play. It's so good. The Venezuelan goalkeeper, though, great to keep it out. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said, but it's a straight red. And that's really all it comes down to. Yeah, I mean, Fran Nunez basically just goes in with a scissor kick. Yeah, what are you going to do? Walk off. But the game goes on. It continues to go late. And Pallone with an incredible ball. Incredible ball. But Borjas Martin, I mean, that's a Van Persie goal right there. Just one touch. So this is where we slide down the mountain. Also, just so you know, I did look up the flights. Canary Islands, you have to, first off, they're not even on where La Palmas is, so they have to travel from Paso to La Palmas. And then they have to travel from there to Madrid. And if they're lucky, they can get a flight from Madrid to Melilla. If they're not, they have to go fly into Malaga and then lay over there for a flight to Melilla. So it's convoluted, and then they have to go back that way. That's what Paso has to do to get to this game. So the other issue, though, is the fact of the commercial revenue. Melilla has the highest levels of commercial revenue in the game. In this division. But, I mean, again, it just gets worse, and they've been bad before this game, too. And let's end this game with a hat trick, because that's what this game was missing. Borjas Martin gets his third. And what I can't believe is that Melilla is a good team. You look at it on paper, like just the value of the players. I mean, they're a good team when you just compare them to everybody else. But when you look at Atletico Paso, they're a good team too, but they're just like it's not close. Oh, that's such a terrible goal to concede. Oh my God. Everybody's embarrassed. But yeah, Paso is just, they're a good team, but they're just not even on that level. But Melilla just doing no favors. And both these teams come in, they won their first game of the season, and then they've just gotten beat every game after that. This is a healthy start for Segoviana at home. That's good to see. Palmer is one of their better players. He's always in and around the issues. So hold your horses. All right, so I cut out probably like 15 highlights between the goal and now, just because there were so many highlights. Both teams are just at each other's throats. Disparity is clearly in the air. And all right, that's quick thinking by Garros. But yeah, both teams clearly smell the relegation battle already. We're in game week 7, right? And these goals that they're conceding, they're not wonder goals. They're not well worked. Sometimes they're just lapses and errors and whatever else. But I feel like this one right here, like this is atrocious. And I mean, Palmer has got to finish what's in front of him, but I mean, Cerdagnola, you're kind of that you got to be shaking your head. That's atrocious. And both teams too. I mean, Segoviana got their first game of the season, and then Cerdagnola got theirs with a 3-0 win, which I thought they were going to be good after that 3-0 win because they beat the crap out of whomever they beat. But I mean, you're going to give up balls like this. Llorente is class, so he's going to score them, right? But jeez and crow. I mean, these teams cannot defend. Yeah, but again, these teams, they won in their opening weekend, and then they just basically gotten smeared for the rest of the next games. It's so I mean, Chupo making a terrible tackle. Kata is a good player, so I mean, he got the foul there, which is, good for them. But, Cerdiniola, I mean, they're having a center defender take it. Bruno Perrone, that's a bad penalty, too. First off, I don't know if he's even good on penalties, but I would have, Kata take it. He seems like he's good at finishing. But this game just kept delivering. There are so many highlights in this game. This is, one of the better ones. Good save by the keeper. Really good save. So this next one, as we know, Sequamos, I beat on them a lot because they've just been the punching boys for everybody. But Alcorcon has now been found out that they're not very good. That's an excellent goal. Fernandito that's a great goal. That's a really good goal. I like that. But Alcorcon has been found out. They started their season off draw, win, draw, and that was the first draw in the opening game. But after that, they've just getting smoked now, and they're sunk right into the relegation zone. Sequamos was born there, and now they're slowly. It looks like they're trying to come out of it. Carlos Martinez, what the hell is that? That's incredible. I think Sequamos have kind of realized that they can really only go with two options. It's either set plays or long shots. And that's all they got. But honestly, good on them. Look at this. Another one. So Alcorcon has been found out that they're not very good with set plays. And Sequamos actually are semi-decent here. And, it's 3-0 because of it. This is the last highlight. Look at this. Another one. Yeah. And Korea are basically my doppelganger so far. They're unbeaten. So am I. I'll spoil it right now. I mean, they're going to win this game. And Adarve going to lose. And what's crazy is that Adarve, they're another team that's gotten found out. So they won 2 games, 1-0. Just basically scraped them too. They weren't even that particularly good. And you could kind of tell that they were it's a matter of time. They scored 6 points of 6 for the first 2 games, but they didn't deserve it. And this is the result of that. I mean, it's just funny. It's you can see that they're just not that good, but it's gonna turn on them as soon as they get a goal down like that. And ultimately, this game too, Korea have I think an entire XG better than Adarve. And Juanma diving into a tackle, Ismacero, no problem. I'll go get the ball. You can foul me in the box. And the away team's gonna get an easy pen and an easy goal out of this. That's oh my God. The goalkeeper, you have to try at least. You have to try at least to save it. There are moments in this is the moment in the game where I realize I think Adarve is going down now. They lost the header. They won it back barely, but then Sergio Gomez takes the ball away. And they're lucky to get a block on it, but it's an absolutely criminal play and just run of plays here. Also, this is just at the start of the second half, too. I think this is another one of those plays where you can see Adarve are clearly really struggling. Nane going right in between 2 midfielders to take the ball away. Ismacero cuts inside. I mean, good save by Lombo, and I want you to notice how this play develops. I mean, he just throws it and punts it, and then Nane, free shot. It's so crazy to see this. Okay, so this whole thing came from a throw-in, and just look Adarve just scoops and clears it. Doesn't matter wherever it goes. Obviously, he can't hold on to it, so it's going to get pumped to Sergio Gomez and Deco and Alex Rodriguez, chipped in. And this is the class. Cero, one-touch finish. That's the level gap between Korea and Adarve right there. That illustrated right there. And Adarve are going to have a chance right from the kickoff of that last goal that you just saw. Now, it's headed away, headed back in. Maganto is going to create this entire thing, but you can see, that's good space creation by Dana Gonzalez to hold that position. But, I mean, yeah, it's disjointed is what it is. It's disjointed. You see that there's not really a play. It's kind of a collection of individuals there. Okay, I thought maybe I was going to get that one, but maybe not. But Maganto looks like he's up for it. He looks like he's playing decently well on that left side and causing some problems. However, yeah, I mean, this is so late in the game now. It's, you're at the 77th minute. It's now 3-0. You've been getting hammered all game. That was a defensive error by Correa to even create the chance. Like, that's the level of despair here. All right, and we're at game week 7. As you can see at the top here, Villeneuve is the number 1 team in this division at 15 points, 4 wins in a row, and beat Atletico Madrid B in their last game. Atletico Paso, Don Benito on 14 points, right behind them, looking also very strong and having a good last 5-game form streak here. My Montijo team and Correa, we're basically doppelgangers. We get the same results. We're really, I'm one worse in defense, but one better in offense. We're mirroring each other at 13 points. Right outside is Estepona on 12 points, 3 wins in a row, though, so they are looking good. Navalcarnero, 4 games unbeaten, splitting between 2 wins and 2 draws, 11 points. Level with them is Atletico Madrid B team, who is on the slide with no wins in 4. Leganes also with 11 points, but looking kind of like back and forth here. 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. It's, haven't quite found their footing yet. Casareño have not won in 3, but yeah, another team that they're in 8 points, so they're the first. They also look a little bit like they haven't found their footing yet this year. Guadalajara, a bunch of teams on 7 points. Guadalajara, Adarve, Segoviana, and Sequemos. Some of these teams look like they're on the slide. Some of them look like they're on the up. Sequemos looks like they've found some rhythm here and they're going to work their way up. Segoviana looks a little desperate, so I'm on hold there. But Adarve are in the worst form so far. They got those first two wins of the season. They looked like they could scrape wins, and now they're just absolutely getting pumped. So they're in trouble. And now, just who cares about Guadalajara so far? They're an average. They're like an average to below average team. And Melilla, they are one of the big teams in this division, and they're getting beat. I'm very surprised by it, and I don't know what's going on. They've lost 4 of the last 5, and I just don't know even what to say about it. Cerdanyola, unbeaten. They winless in 6, and 3 draws, 3 losses. They're not looking that good, and I play them next, so I'm hoping to add to it. But Alcorcon and Diocesano, these 2 teams are the definitely terrible. Alcorcon has been found out. They're absolutely egregiously terrible. They've only got 3 goals to their name for the season so far. They only beat Diocesano. They drew against me and then also Estepona at the beginning of the year when Estepona was struggling for their first 3 games. But Diocesano, they've only beaten Adarve, who's also a team that looks like they're really struggling. And so these guys are in dire straits. The 3 of these guys at the bottom. And I would even say Adarve. These are the struggle teams of the week so far. Adarve, Cerdanyola, Alcorcon, and Diocesano, for sure. Teams that I would be scared of right now: Estepona, Correa, Don Benito, Villeneuve. I think that Atletico Paso seems like they got a little bit of frailty to them, but I might be overstepping my boundaries there. Let's go to. I don't know if I saw you guys let you guys see the season preview. You can see here. I'm like a lower mid-table, but I mean, Diocesano deservedly down there. Adarve deservedly down there. Guadalajara kind of feels like that. Segoviana, Sequemos also. Vino Vans is like basically mid-table, which is kind of surprising how good they are. Malia is second best team in the division, and you see how bad they are at the moment. Cordia makes the rest of the teams kind of make sense about where they are. Oh, Cerdanyola also looks like they're one of the outliers that is struggling at the moment. What they should be, they shouldn't be. Sorry. And Alcorcon can't get promoted because their senior team is in the league above. So I think they're probably going to be one of the teams that struggles later on because they're probably hoovering up all the good players here because the actual team needs more help. Going to the stadiums, we're one of the smaller teams. 1,400. Diocesano at 500. Malia at 10,000. Casadeno at 9,000. You can see that, but Guadalajara is kind of interesting that they got 8,000 there, but whatever. And then sponsorship income. I am the smallest team in sponsorship income. Malia, Villanovens, Navalcarnero, Don Benito. This kind of makes sense when you look at it and you think about the team in the context of how they've played the first 7 games. I'm actually, when I first saw this page, I'm actually kind of surprised that I was so far below, down. I couldn't believe it. But let's go to the profile. Victor got 10, so he's at the top of the Golden Boot race. He got 4 this week. He got 2 the week prior, 2 the week prior to that, 1 the prior the week to that, and then you rewind 2 weeks after that, and you got another goal. So the guy's on fire. That's all I'm trying to say. Shutouts, we got Sebas Heel from Don Benito. He's got 4, so he's now added to the list. But there's, other than that, no real changes beyond the man of the match with Victor again. But let's move on. Atletico Madrid B, Segoviana. I think that's going to be a great game. Both teams in kind of bad form, trying to just kind of figure it out a little bit. So that'll be interesting. Sequemos and Diocesano, finding form, terrible form. Adarve, 2 teams in god-awful form. That's a great basement battle kind of game. Definitely looking forward to that. Villanovens and Estepona, another one where both teams are in good form. Cordia and Malia, that looks like it could be a banana peel there. Malia looks... Oh. Never mind. Hold on. It's actually this one. I was moving it over to game week 9. All right, 8 is actually Madrid and Darve. Meh. Okay. Alcorcon and Malia. Bad team, trying to figure it out. Paso and Estepona is a good one. I like that. Cordia and Sequemos also feels like it's going to be a good one. Unbeaten and just finding themselves. Both teams really good with this one here. Villanovens and Don Benito. Oh my God, another good top of the table clash. I'm taking on Cerdanyola, so I don't think my game matters as much. But yeah, I'll see you in game week 8. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks.